Lord have mercy. Yo, my people. Welcome back to Live with Fergie. And tonight, we are continuing our Love Island series with day/episode 18. Now, before we get into the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share. You feeling free to hit any of the videos that come up during hit any of the cards that come up during the video, and also make it to the end of this stream. And without further ado, before getting into this video, also feel free to hit me up in the social media. Instagram is at MC Fergie and Snapchat is Colin123. Now, the notes. Also remember, whenever I'm taking these notes, it's my mindset at the time whilst viewing. So, the hashtags we got were girl power, double trouble, and play the field. Now, brief overview of the episode to come. Blonde model, gold bikini, struts her stuff whilst islanders are sleeping. Then she sits on a bench in shades. We learn that her name is Arabella. She's 5 foot 10.5 inches, 28 years old. Curtis goes to the kitchen, turns on the water, looks up and clocks, oh my God, there's some legs by the swimming pool. And then instantly just goes, hello? They converse, and eventually Curtis just walks back straight into the bedroom and says, everyone, there's a new girl here. Amy says Curtis was lying. There was no new girl. There was a supermodel. A supermodel entered the villa. Anton takes a brief look and he literally runs away and is just like, I need to shower. I need to put on clothes. I need to make sure I freshen up. And he says Operation AA is back, or Operation AA. He also says to Anna, could you tell her I've got a big... I'm gonna leave it at that. Okay, so then Anton decides to take the chill approach in terms of when he introduces himself. He's just like, what's up? Yeah. And he's just really, really laid back. Never seen that side to him. Don't think it really suits him. Now, moving on, Tommy, he asks, what's the difference between a model and a supermodel? And ultimately, nobody really gives a clear answer, to be honest. Anton, game changer, boys. Game changer. So he's truly believed, okay, after these past 18 days, this is the one for me. My luck has turned, okay? What is next? We come to find out that Arabella is Lucy's ex's ex. Not too sure on the correlation, but I'm sure that'll come up sooner or later. And ultimately, everybody's impressed. Everyone's just like, wow, this new girl is fire. Like, whew. And she is pretty fit. I mean, she's a model. She's got to be. Jordan, Danny, and Michael make their comparisons between their own women compared with Arabella. And we come to find out that Danny's in a hard place because he's giving all he can to Yewande, but she's not giving him anything back. The girls personally ask Arabella, who do you like? And she says, basically, I did not really like this scene, like at all, because most of the girls talk about how, oh, I never trust anybody 100%. Because Amy even says some people have been married for 20 years and then all of a sudden they leave that person for another person. So you should never trust somebody 100%. And then Anna was just like, I never, ever, ever, ever trust men. I was just like, what kind of feminist situation has happened in here? Like, that many men hurt you that you can't trust one? Like, as far as I'm concerned, trust someone entirely until they've proven untrustworthy. And then even once they've proven untrustworthy, give them that one chance of redemption, because we're all human. Like, come on. Now, Amber, Yewande, and Anna debate who Arabella may like. Arabella asks Michael, Tom, and Danny who's coupled up, which I thought was very smart. She's just trying to find out what's the general sort of flow and atmosphere between everybody in the villa and sort of whose toes to potentially step on, but at the same time, who's sort of secure. So I thought that was a pretty smart play of her. And ultimately, she says, obviously, I'm going to have to tread on people's toes. And, excuse me, I'm not too sure who said it, but they liked the fact that she didn't come across arrogant. it was a lot of confidence, just like, I'm 28 years old, I'm looking for love, you know? No. Arabella got a text, and ultimately she's told you have to go on a date, choose two guys, and she chooses Danny. And he literally tells us he's happy to finally get some attention, you know? Now, Yewande admits she has zero trust for men. She almost practically throws a fit to sort of diss Danny to the girls. And at this point, I was just like, can we get this woman off this show? Please. Like, why? Like, because the thing is, within 2 days of sort of being coupled up with Danny, she already sort of locked off things, saying, oh, his head will be turned. Oh, I can't trust him. And I'm just thinking to myself, you haven't even given things a chance. And she's caught up in this idea that she's in the right, that she has been trying with Danny. And it even influences people like Molly May, so that when he gets dressed and comes over and says, he literally just says, I just wanted to say goodbye. Molly May is just like, I didn't expect that from Danny. I thought he would have been, it's like, oh, don't worry, babe. I'm thinking to myself, you people are getting the wrong end of the stick, especially if it's incorrect in the first place. Because Danny has been grafting, he's been pouring out his heart, doing his best, and he just wants a little bit of that reiterated, you know? And yeah, he literally just comes over to say bye. And she said, okay, so Yewande says she's fine, but we clearly see that's definitely not. And I've got here, Yewande is annoying me with an exclamation point. So Danny and Arabella, they're on their way to the date, to the table, and they link arms. I want to tell you, they already were looking like a couple, you know. We find out she's been modeling for 10 years. And I started thinking to myself, what would their names be if they were combined? So mine, sort of like instantaneous one was Dannabella. Just because I felt it was a good, accurate representation of both names. And then my sister came up with Annie. But the thing is, that's sort of like just a smidge of Arabella. To be honest, that's really just Danny without the D. So I'm going for Dannabella. I'm not too sure what Love Island will do if something comes of that, you know? But I claim that if they come up with Dannabella, I want some money, or I put at least a copyright on that name. If they use Dannabella, I'm phoning up Love Island. Now, Danny explains his situation to Arabella, and we realize the two of them, they're both attracted to each other, and the date goes very well. They bounce off of each other, personalities just really click. Michael and Yewande chat in the villa, and Yewande basically believes that Danny is wrong, and etc. etc. But Michael sets her straight and just explains, look, this guy has been grafting. He's been doing his best to show you I'm interested, but you've been locking yourself off, most likely because of past experiences, you know? So next, Anton's working out, and he got a text. We find out he is the second date for Arabella. So then, afterwards, Michael, Anna, pretty much everyone gives him all this advice based off of the wrong things he done in previous experiences. So they're just like, don't kiss her when you're there. Don't tell her how much you love her and all this stuff. Literally just giving him all these tips on how not to lay it on factor 50, I guess. Anton tells Arabella, what has happened to my voice? Anton tells Arabella she's brought the wow factor for him, because he hasn't really had that whilst he's been in. Danny returns to the villa, and when he sort of greets everyone, Yewande sort of just looks away, just like, why? Sort of like, why is he here, sort of thing. And then Danny decides to go and debrief the boys and just lets them know, look, she's a lovely girl. Had a good time. Thank you very much to the person who just dropped that like. Much appreciated. Share this live stream. Yeah, he literally just debriefs them all. Now, Yewande tries to tell the girls, I don't care. And Anna's just like, well, you obviously do, you know? We find out back at the date, Anton used to be fat due to the Italian in his family. And we find out, my God, I think a cold is coming on, so I'm going to have to try and wrap this up. We find out how Anton's mom started shaving his behind. It was due to like this friend of his who like had someone pull out at the last minute of some event and basically said, you know what, Anton, you're a pretty good looking guy. Do you think you could fill in? And then his mom basically said to him, Anton, your ass is so hairy. And then she started shaving it, and the rest is history. Okay, yeah, I definitely have a cold. Forgive me. Now, Anton and Arabella return. They return, yes. Oh, God, more notes. Anton debriefs Michael and Tommy. Michael just says, look, I'm so proud of you. Because you can see literally this massive smile on his face. What's happened to Valdez? Am I all good? Yep, I'm all good. I'm all good. Okay, so Danny and Yewande, they chat on the terrace, and she literally there's this like negative energy between the two of them, and she just goes, "So how was your date?" And it's just, and the thing is, it sounded almost like Danny was getting nervous while he was answering this. Like I was just like, just tell her how the date was, because he was just like, "Yeah, she's a nice girl. I think she's gonna fit in the villa." I was just like, "Come on, man up! Tell this woman that you enjoyed that date. You know, there's no harm in that." And they basically said, he basically says, how can we sort of move forward with things? And they basically discussed that at this moment things just aren't working out. And Danny says, and I quote, how would you move forward if you can't talk about feelings? Kudos to him, like it's true. Next, Tommy, Molly May, Maura, and Danny, they chat on the swing bed chair thingy. And we find out that Danny's feeling drained, and Maura basically is just extremely savage and says, look, you need to be looking out for you. This is Love Island. She's draining your energy, okay? You got to be a bit selfish. And Molly May's just like, oh my God, you're just going straight in on it. And Maura's just like, yeah, of course. And then in the booth, Maura basically says, in here, you need to step out of your comfort zone. And then Danny at some point says, yeah, so whilst they're still on the swing bed chair thingy, Danny says, don't come to Love Island if you don't want to be loved. And Molly May's just like, oh, that was such a sad moment, sort of thing. Okay. Amber asks Arabella, what was the best date? So this is just as the girls and guys are getting prepared for the night, the party, the evening, don't know what you'd call it. And once again, she's smart with her answers. She says, I can't say. I mean, I only got to speak to them for what? Who knows how long. So it's really just quite even sort of thing. Also, Lucy, she mixes up Durex with Duracell. And this was actually such a funny moment because she's just like, you know, Duracell. Oh, I don't know. And then Anton's just like, no, you're talking about Durex. And basically I think almost all of the guys were in there. And then everybody just started like cracking up. The girls sit by the fire pit, all of them, and they play Snog, Marry, Avoid. I couldn't be asked to write down everybody's answers. I mean, ultimately, everybody said, I'm not too sure about Snog, but everybody said marry Curtis because he's husband material. Anton was the one to be avoided mainly. But Arabella was another level of bold when she said she would avoid Tommy because she feels as if she couldn't trust him. Bearing in mind Molly May is present at the time, and it's all to do with the whole his head being turned thing whilst Maura had entered the villa. Yes. Yep. And Molly May is just like in the booth just thinking, am I reading too much into this? I mean, to say something like that as when you're still so new. So she kind of takes that to heart, but they brush over it. My God, I'm on the wrong side. I was about to say what's going on. Am I? I have lost my place. Okay, now I found it. The boys basically watch them whilst they're doing it, and they're just like, okay, we need to hear what they're saying. So they decide to move from the swing bed chair thingy. No, in fact, they weren't even there. They were like by the couches in the corner. And then they say, okay, look, let's head over to the day bed, go listen. Molly, Maura, and Lucy go and chat on the terrace. And Arabella essentially already said that. Okay, so Maura, she believes she's now all of a sudden interested in Danny, like he's grown on her somehow. And she realizes, you know what, we've got a good crack. And apparently that's how she gets on with guys and hopefully goes out with them because it develops over time or something. Anton and Arabella chat in the daybed. Anton is taking the full-on approach and he admits it. He's just like, no more taking my foot off the gas pedal, just going in for it, less chill. Curtis and Amber, they do role play to Yewande to show her how to act and talk to Danny. And this is also assisted by Michael, Anna, and Amy for the School of Love. Yewande pulls Danny and for a chat, and he just says, "Yes, finally." And Danny's basically shocked at the outcome because they sit by the bar, and Yewande basically pours out her heart to him, says, "I understand where you're coming from. I really do like you." Da, 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 da. And Danny's just like, "Yes, this is progress." And ultimately, they make up with a kiss, and some of the people by the fire pit are just like, "Yay!" And Arabella obviously looks over, but let's just say she isn't phased. Because the thing is, I didn't like this. Yewande, after they kissed and made up, she then says to Danny, "So if I see you looking at Arabella again, just know there's going to be problems or something." And they sort of say in a jokingly way. But I'm just like, oh, was that really necessary? You just made up. Why are you bringing that toxicity into the atmosphere? Now, Arabella asks some of the people who are on the daybed with her, "Do you think that situation would have happened had I have not entered into the villa?" And some of them say, "Definitely would not." Some of them say, "Yeah, it still would happen." And some of them are just like, "You never really know in here, things can change just like that." And Arabella basically makes it clear to them who are present with her, "I still plan to get to know Danny." Fair enough. All the couples, okay, so on the way to bed, well, in bed, all the couples are snogging. And Maura basically says, "Hope you're all having fun." And literally, she and Anna just crack up beside each other. And when I tell you, I think the Do Bit Society has been brought to another level. Because originally, Curtis and Amy there was more than kissing in the hideaway. But we are seeing some somewhat graphic footage towards the end of the episode between Tommy and Molly May in the spooning position, and there looked to have been some perpetual motion going on. And let's just say Molly May took the Lord's name in vain. Shame, 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 shame. But either way, moving on, we get a hint at tomorrow night's episode. And ultimately, it's gleaming on this idea of, is Danny having second thoughts due to Arabella? And she basically, she's not afraid. I like it. She's just straight in on it. And she talks about how shouldn't the chemistry have already been there from day one? And they're talking about how our chemistry is already there, etc., etc., etc. So I'm looking forward to that next episode. And that brings us to the end of the notes. So hoping you've enjoyed. Please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, and share. What else? Yes, social media. Instagram is at MC Fergie. Snapchat is Colin123. Feel free to click the videos that have been videos and info cards that have been in this video. Peace. And come on, work with me. Work with me, technology. Nice, that's what I'm talking about. Peace and God bless.